What's up, everybody, and welcome! We are here. We have finally made it to Summerslam. We are Sunday, week 4, August 1994. My name, as always, is Max Whitman. This is the Book It Better YouTube series, and I am joined once again, as I have been for the entire month of August, by the always beautiful, the always clever, the always wonderful Maxine Whitman.
Hi, guys.
There she is. She is back. Maxwell Whitman is not here right now. The Hurricane Maxwell is sleeping peacefully in its hurricane crib. But we are here. We have finally made it to SummerSlam. Our second biggest pay-per-view. Our second biggest pay-per-view. Why can't I say that?
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. Our second biggest pay-per-view of the year. We're live from, we are at Fenway Park, and we are holding this in front of 50,000 people.
We're in Boston?
At Fenway Park. We are in Boston. Yep.
Oh.
We were originally, the game auto-booked us in Puerto Rico for this event.
That was a big no-no.
Big no-no. We no longer run shows in Puerto Rico.
We know how that goes.
Yeah, especially not SummerSlam. So we got a huge show coming up. We're gonna open right here with just a pre-show bout. It's Yokozuna and Crush going over the Hardy Boys. They win that match in 10 minutes. Crush defeats Matt Hardy with the chokeslam. It scores a 67. It's a C+ rating. Way better, actually, than I expected it to be. But Jeff is really improving. So the work that he's doing with Sparkplug is improving his in-ring performance. He scores a 46 here. Crush gets a 67, so Crush is improving, working with Yokozuna. Yoko puts on a good show here. It's a 79 rated match for him. Pretty standard, just to get these guys on a card kind of thing.
So you mean to tell me that all along Jeff Hardy has been in here in this universe, and I just thought that Matt Hardy was the only person because...
You mean Matt Hardy has been here?
No, Jeff. I didn't even know Jeff was here.
Jeff's been working with Sparkplug, driving lessons.
Yeah, then you're right.
Matt. Yeah, Matt's here. Matt's 19. He already knows how to drive. So I suppose theoretically, Matt could just teach Jeff how to drive.
Clearly.
Why did you have to bring that up? You just blew up our whole plan. Why did you? Yeah.
Maybe I should.
You know what happened? Matt lost his license. That's what happened. Matt never got his license because his IQ was too low.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Okay.
Matt's bordering on being a savant. He doesn't know how to drive a car, so...
He's just like me. I didn't learn how to drive till I was like 24.
That's right. Maybe Matt Hardy grew up in a city where you don't need a car.
Yes, exactly. You will have
Maxine. Anywho, they put on a decent match here. It's a 67. It's a good pre-show. It's kind of like our opener. I'm actually sad because I forgot to put Dink on this card. So ordinarily he'd be on our pre-show here, but Dink is going to be left off the card here.
So the pre-show is for the audience that's there, but not the televised.
Correct, doesn't get televised.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to know.
I believe it's our only pre-show match. It is, because we are right now. This is our opening hype video.
Whoa!
It scores a 90, it grades an A. Basically, all this is just a hype video, kind of promoting the matches that are coming up on this show.
Like that first Super Bowl video that WWE did when they were battling the WCW.
Yes.
Which was super cool. I still remember that one, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the stars breaking stuff.
Exactly. That's pretty much what we've got here. So it's going to push the Bret vs. Owens storyline, and it's going to gain heat. Razor and Diesel storyline is going to advance with this storyline. And Jericho arrives storyline, that's going to advance, and it's going to gain heat. So basically, we got HBK, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Undertaker, Diesel, Razor, Savage, and Jericho. They're the guys that are getting kind of promoted here for the show, and it's just your standard opening video package.
Okay.
We're going to jump right into an angle with Savage and Chris Jericho. Basically, Savage and Jericho, they cross paths backstage. They're going to argue, and Savage says, you know what, enough's enough. I'm heading to the ring. Our match is coming up.
Ooh.
So Savage is heading out to the ring. Jericho's left standing there. And our opening match is going to be Randy Savage versus Chris Jericho here. This segment gets an 86. Once again, Savage doing pretty good work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the match coming up right now. I'm excited to hit next segment here because this is the match that I personally have been waiting for.
Me too.
I really want to see what Jericho's able to do with Savage here. So
secretly, I want him to become my unicorn warrior.
You want him to become the unicorn warrior.
I'm still working on that.
All right, we're gonna go to our next segment here. It pulls an 83. Outstanding.
That is very good.
That's about. I was worried. I will admit that I was worried this might score a little bit lower. Because of Jericho. Just because Jericho's kind of an unknown commodity. But it scores an 83, and Savage is going to defeat Chris Jericho in 16 minutes and 34 seconds by pinfall. So Jericho's going to.
Was it clean?
It's a clean finish. Good. That's a clean finish. So this was a match that we really went back and forth on leading into it. But if you listen to our creative meeting this past Wednesday, we have our reasons for making this decision. So if you want the spoilers, you've already listened to that. You already knew this was coming. If you didn't listen to the spoilers and you want to check those out, you can check those out on iTunes. But Randy Savage goes over Jericho. He hands Jericho his first loss. But Jericho ends up looking really good here in the process. It scores an 83. It's a great way to start off our show here. I'm excited about that start. So now we're gonna get a segment. It's just a promo. Razor Ramon cutting a promo. Scores a 90. Nothing really to say about it. It's just him just kind of hyping his match coming
up. You're the best. You're the best. Because you produce where you are right now.
Absolutely. This is Razor saying, tonight the bad guy's gonna take home the gold. It's simple.
I always like seeing his picture because he just looks.
He does have a cool picture here, doesn't he?
Yeah, like super cocky, but like in a good, cool way.
Yeah. Moving on, we have an angle with Sid Vicious and Adam Bomb, and again, it's the same thing. It's Sid and Adam Bomb saying tonight they're gonna take home tag team gold. It's again a simple thing, and their match is coming up next.
Woo. Drop the mic. Let's go.
We get into that. It's a decent match. Sid and Bomb are going to defeat the Smoking Guns in 15 minutes when Sid Vicious defeats Bart Gunn via the chokeslam.
The Mustachio
Brothers, yes. Sid and Adam Bomb are going to win the World Tag Team titles. It's their first reign. Sid carries the match. He gets a 74. Adam Bomb at a 58. And both Billy and Bart Gunn at a 58 and a 57. So, not a bad match. It's about what I expected it to be. The Smoking Guns hold the titles for just 4 weeks. They don't make a successful defense. Actually, that's not true. They defended them once, I think, on a pre-show of Raw, maybe. But
who are these people?
The Smoking Guns?
Yeah.
You remember Billy Gunn? Badass Billy Gunn from DX?
No.
Come on. Anywho, so Billy Gunn, he still wrestles the Independent Center. He's on New Japan every once in a while. But Billy Gunn was in DX. Oh, they were the Smoking Guns. You'd know them if you saw them.
Probably. I just don't. I don't remember this gimmick, or I don't remember. And
They had Sonny with them. Sonny.
I know.
Boy, Sonny made 10-year-old me a man.
Oh, God. Nobody needs to know that. Especially me. I do not need to know about...
She did a porn.
Okay, thank you for...
It was pretty recent.
Okay.
Not that good.
I don't need to.
No, it was horrible.
Okay.
She doesn't look anything like she used to look.
You're just digging a hole.
Yeah,
like, it's just... That ground is really...
I may or may not have watched it a couple times.
You really?
Frankly, it's disgusting. It's a horrible... I'm sorry, we need to move. Let's move on from this topic. But if you're watching this and you haven't watched the Sunny porn, do yourself a favor and don't watch the Sunny porn.
And now people are going to watch it because you say that.
Yeah.
And if you're Sunny, we apologize.
That's right.
Society has pushed you to the limit that you had to feel that you need to do this.
Right. Sunny,
although if you felt that this is what you wanted to do, more power to you,
Sunny,
girlfriend.
if you're our one fan, I apologize. Moving on to our next segment here. Congrats to Sid and Adam Bomb. They win the tag team titles. Moving on, now we got an Owen Hart promo. Again, you're just going to kind of see these. If you watch WWF from the 90s, it's your standard backstage promo hyping up a match. That's all it is. I really focus, at least me personally, my personal stance on booking is that the pay-per-views, it's all about the matches. So we're going to get our airtime in with our promos here, but they're not. It's about the matches. These are just short little 3-minute promos. Owen Hart talking about, I'm the best Hart. I'm going to win that title tonight. I'm the King of Hearts. And when we go out there in that cage and we get locked in that cage, it's going to be Brett who wishes he had some help.
Well, I can't wait for this match, actually.
Yeah, that's going to be our main event. It scores a 75, B minus, pretty standard. We follow that up with an Undertaker. This is the Undertaker's entrance. So he's making his entrance for his match versus Bam Bam Bigelow. It also scores a 75. Not terrible. Not quite as good as I thought it would get, but it is what it is. It's just his entrance.
Is it because it's too long?
Mm,
Or is it because
there's no such thing as an Undertaker entrance that's too long.
Boy, some of them were just horrible. Like, so long and dragged out.
Some of them are still happening.
Yes, some of them are still happening right now.
Let's move on to our next segment. This is the Undertaker versus Bam Bam Bigelow match. And it scores well. It scores a 79. It gets us a B. It's great wrestling and good heat. And it goes about 15 and a half minutes, and Taker wins with a tombstone. Says there were times with a lack of psychology on display, and the match had a tendency to drift a little bit. But the Undertaker scores another 88 rating, and Bam Bam steps his game up here and scores an 80.
So is Bam Bam, like, in the ring? Is he good? Is he bad?
Bam Bam's good in the ring.
Is he a good speaker?
He's not terrible, but he's just more. He's best suited to play that intimidating kind of guy. That big. Bam Bam was one of the early, at least to me, and I'm not that old, so I'm more of a 90s mark. But Bam Bam was the first agile big man that I remember seeing. It's actually one of the reasons that I'm enjoying pushing him here, because Bam Bam was that guy that always kind of intrigued me when I was younger, but never really got that big push. But he was that first big dude that you saw doing drop kicks and stuff.
Was he similar to Mark Henry?
No, not in that. He moved way better than Mark Henry. There's nothing agile about Mark Henry. Do you remember Vader?
No, I don't think
Similar to Vader. You'd have to watch some footage on it, but he's a big dude, 300-plus pounder that can move. And it was cool to see at that time. But he loses here to The Undertaker, so he's had two back-to-back big matches, one with Bret Hart, one with The Undertaker, but he's fallen in both of them, so he's lost in both. But both matches put on a good show. He gets the 80 rating here. Undertaker pulls the 88 for a 79 rated match, a B total. So really not a terrible match here. Actually, a pretty good match.
Yes.
Here we're going to get an angle. It's going to be HBK and Diesel backstage. And they're just kind of, they're cutting a promo. They're cutting a promo before their match, talking about how this is a bad day for Razor because it's a triple threat match here. They're talking, then at the end of this promo, they kind of head out, and you can see them heading to the ring. So they're heading in. This match is coming up. We've got our triple threat match for the Intercontinental title.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's the one.
That's what you're looking for. And our segment here. This is the triple threat match. It scores an 87, a B plus. Good solid match. It's a match that had great heat and great wrestling. Shawn Michaels defeats Razor Ramon and Diesel in 23 minutes and 48 seconds when Shawn Michaels defeats Razor Ramon by pinfall with a sweet chin music. HBK wins the Intercontinental title. Little background on exactly how this match ends here. Okay, so leading into it, we had Diesel, HBK obviously playing both sides of the card, works his way into the match. Him and Diesel are, they're in agreement that they're going to work Razor together. They do that. So they spend the whole match beating down Razor. It's a handicap match. It's a 2-on-1 essentially. Gorilla Monsoon looks like he's got egg on his face because he bought into what Shawn Michaels was saying about wanting Diesel to kind of not have the title anymore. And Razor gets his butt kicked. Diesel's going to hit the jackknife powerbomb. That's his finisher. Soon as he hits that on Razor, HBK turns, sweet chin music to Diesel, knocks him out, covers Razor, and steals the pin to win the Intercontinental title. So, They do spend the whole match tag teaming and beating up on Razor, but in that last moment, HBK just can't help himself, hits that sweet chin music, steals the pin from Diesel, and we have a new Intercontinental Champion.
And heel.
Well, he's always been the heel.
But a healer.
But a heel. He's heelier.
Heelier. Yeah,
Heelier, if you will. Yes. Yeah, HBK kind of just showing that he just can't stay away.
But then again, I mean, I can't understand why Shawn Michaels is so great. Look, in-ring performance is 91. Like, these guys, none of them are in his level.
He's above
Be
it.
cocky, Shawn Michaels. Own up how great you are. Push all these people out of the way. Nobody could be as good as you.
So you're an HBK fan now?
I might be secretly just a tad bit enjoying just the slightest bit of his pants. Not all of it.
Nice.
Not
pants
all the
nice.
pants.
Interesting thing that I'll point out is that Diesel pulls an 80 rated performance here. He's been in the 60s on Monday Night Raws. So what he's showing is that he can put on that good match.
So he's just been lazy.
He's just been a little bit lazy. Or, I mean, obviously it helps to have HBK in there with you kind of carrying that match. It's going to make you look better.
Okay.
But, so that's where that goes. It scores an 87. It's a B+. It's a great match. I'm really, really hoping that our main event pulls a 90. But we're going to go to our next segment. It's Bret Hart cutting the promo leading into his main event match coming up. It's Bret versus Owen in the steel cage in the main event.
So why is this promo so low?
Bret's just not a great mic worker.
No.
He's okay, but he's just not a great mic worker.
He's not Shawn Michaels.
He's not Shawn Michaels. You know, I mean,
Or The Rock.
He's certainly not The Rock.
Okay.
Alright, so our main event of the evening is an 86 rated match, so not quite as high as I would have liked to have seen it, but not terrible actually. It gets a B+. So our main event and our semi-main event both score at 86 and 87. That'll be good for the show. It's a bout that has great heat and good wrestling. Bret defeats Owen in a cage match in just under 30 minutes. This match goes 29.5 minutes. Bret escapes the cage and makes defense number 3 of his heavyweight title. Bret pulls an 86 in-ring performance. Owen pulls a 78. It's not as good as I'd hoped to get from Owen. But I will say that I'm kind of glad that this particular storyline has finally reached a conclusion.
Yes.
It was a real struggle to get it
to that
climax and to keep it above that heat that was necessary. Which, to piggyback on our last episode, in between episodes, we raised up from national to international. That's why we didn't have enough hot storylines last week. Or not last week, on Wednesday, really. That's why we didn't have enough hot storylines, was not because we lost heat. It's because we went from needing 2 storylines with 77 heat or above to 3 storylines, and we didn't have that third one. We will have it after this show, I would imagine. Bret and Owen was sitting at a 76 heat, and then we had 2 more that were over 80. So now with this match, I would imagine that would jump up into the 80s again, and we'd be good to go. However, I am almost certain that this storyline is ending at SummerSlam here. I feel like it's run its course. Both men can move on to better things. Bret wins it, retains his title, and that's going to do it for this show.
So the Hearts are joining together?
No, they're definitely not joining
together.
They're still broken? They're still broken.
Oh, they're still sad.
They're still sad.
They're sad.
Good.
Okay, okay. Your brother, man. You need to rise above this and stop hating on each other.
So we don't get any worker improvements here. But we're going to go to the end of the show here and hope that we pulled a good rating. So Bret says he can perform better if he uses that. So he didn't really like being in a steel cage match. Owen's going to give me the same thing. Yep. We're going to pull an 87 here. That's a good show. I'm happy with that.
SummerSlam.
So it pulls an 87. No specific comments to make about the show. But I do know, and I don't remember the exact score. I know that this is going to score higher than WCW Clash of Champions just did. I think they just pulled an 86. But I'm happy with this show for SummerSlam. I would have loved to have gotten up into the 90s, but it didn't happen. But it's okay. We're moving forward.
I do love this show. However, I do have a small criticism.
Okay.
I didn't get to do my Latino hate dance because you didn't have my boy. So
Eddie Guerrero was not
I'm
featured.
gonna do it now.
You can do it now?
Because
Latino heat. Latino heat. There you go.
I
lied. Alright, you got to do your thing. So, thanks for joining us, guys. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad to have finally made it to SummerSlam. Again, we'll be starting our build into Survivor Series. We got 3 months to get there. If you head on over to iTunes or Podomatic, we'll link to both of those in the description here. If you want the creative meeting, you can get that there. You can also see this coming Wednesday on iTunes, we'll have one of our roundtable discussions up. So we'll be taking a week off of the creative meetings and putting up a roundtable instead. Again, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, leave a comment, give me your opinions, let me know what you want to see. Who do you want to push? Do you want Dink pushed to the moon? Do you not want Dink? But go ahead and hit subscribe, hit follow, leave us the comment down there. We'd love to hear from you guys. Until then, again, check us out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Book It Better channel as we'll continue to bring you our classic rebook of 1994 WWF. Until then, thank you for joining us, and we are Book It Better, and we're out.